Hello, everyone. I'm Jared Barton on behalf of the President's Athletic Conference and the PAC Sports Network. We've reached the end of another football season, and it's time to unveil some postseason accolades as we take a look at our 2024 PAC All-Conference football selections, as well as our Newcomer of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year, Offensive Player of the Year, and Coach of the Year honors. Let's start with the honorable mention team. Allegheny offensive lineman Carson Messimer. Geneva offensive lineman Roman Costanza. Grove City offensive lineman Nathan Brady. W&J offensive lineman Grant Cullen. Westminster offensive lineman Braden Micah. Waynesburg offensive lineman Grant Murin. Carnegie Mellon offensive lineman Michael Fath. Carnegie Mellon offensive lineman Garrett Doherty. Case Western Reserve offensive lineman Peter Kelly. Grove City offensive lineman Dalton Four. Case Western Reserve running back Sean Michael James. Teal running back Dion Logan. W&J running back Kobe DeRosa. Geneva running back David Reed. St. Vincent College running back Billy Beck. Grove City fullback Robert Tamburino. Carnegie Mellon wide receiver Reese Kolke. Carnegie Mellon wide receiver Brendan McCullough. Case Western Reserve wide receiver Dylan Cave. Westminster wide receiver Jalen Washington. Waynesburg wide receiver Tyler Richmond. Allegheny wide receiver Chris Geiswhite. W&J tight end Raymond Holmes. Case Western Reserve quarterback Alex Fromberg. Grove City quarterback Logan Pfeiffer. Westminster quarterback Ty McGowan. Bethany quarterback Brett Phillips. Bethany all-purpose player Ray Adamas. Carnegie Mellon all-purpose player Will Bauma. And Grove City all-purpose player Daniel Sullivan. Time to look at our defensive honorable mention team. Bethany defensive lineman Amarion Williams. Grove City defensive lineman Kobe Bonanno. Teal defensive lineman Luke Faber. Westminster defensive lineman Mason Manis. Geneva defensive lineman Colton Hill. Allegheny defensive end Josh Salisbury. Allegheny linebacker Colton Colucci. Carnegie Mellon linebacker Evan Roper. Case Western Reserve linebacker Gabe Trock. St. Vincent College linebacker Wiley Purry. Waynesburg linebacker Jamul Cypress. Bethany linebacker Sonny Fox. Case Western Reserve linebacker Sean Torres. St. Vincent College linebacker Nathan Parker. Teal linebacker Jaellen Rose. Allegheny defensive back Vital Joseph II. Carnegie Mellon defensive back Jackson LaJoy. Case Western Reserve defensive back Nate Sicalo. St. Vincent College defensive back Robbie Labuda. W&J defensive back Angelo Volumino. Waynesburg defensive back Brennan Boron. Westminster defensive back Lamont Austin. Teal defensive back Justin Logan. W&J defensive back Brandon Brown. And Grove City safety Ryan Montgomery. Time to take a look at our special teams honorable mention players. St. Vincent College kicker Adam Koshalicki. W&J kicker Devin Wyatt. Allegheny punter Trevor Brinsick. Case Western Reserve punter Joseph Rhodes V. St. Vincent College punter Deshaun Alexander. Grove City return specialist Bowden Davidson. And Teal return specialist Javier White. Now it's time to take a look at our All-PAC second team selections, starting with the offense. Carnegie Mellon offensive lineman Charlie Katarincic. Case Western Reserve offensive lineman Owen Meyer. Grove City offensive lineman Luke Jolly. W&J offensive lineman Elijah Staub. Waynesburg offensive lineman Jacob Brisky. Carnegie Mellon tight end Matt Everett. Case Western Reserve wide receiver Noah Coyne. W&J wide receiver John Caduzzi. Carnegie Mellon quarterback Ben Mills. Carnegie Mellon running back Trey Vasiliadis. Westminster running back Ryan Gomes. Case Western Reserve all-purpose player Ethan Dollop. Time to take a look at our second team defensive selections. Case Western Reserve defensive lineman Caden Tom. Grove City defensive lineman Bryce Spolnick. Teal defensive lineman Chad Morningstar. Westminster defensive lineman John Gary Joseph. Carnegie Mellon linebacker Logan Young. Grove City linebacker Caleb Brubaker. Grove City linebacker Jack Jolly. Westminster linebacker Dylan Sleva. Carnegie Mellon defensive back Nolan Pitzenberger. Case Western defensive back Osi Chukwuocha. Grove City defensive back Bowden Davidson. And W&J defensive back Zakai Simmons. Time to look at our second team special team selections. Grove City kicker Daniel Sullivan. Carnegie Mellon punter Ben Mills. And Carnegie Mellon return specialist DJ Johnson. Now it's time for our PAC first team football selection, starting with the offense. Carnegie Mellon offensive lineman Hunter Campbell. Case Western Reserve offensive lineman Tony Thiebener. Grove City offensive lineman Brady Brungard. W&J offensive lineman Adam Kozera. Westminster offensive lineman Matthew Howard. W&J tight end Zach Cernudo. W&J quarterback Jake Hugh. Grove City running back Nico Flatty. Waynesburg running back Zane Colley. Grove City wide receiver Scott Frazier. W&J wide receiver Jacob McCosco. And Westminster all-purpose player Bright Cannon. Now it's time for our first team defensive selections. Carnegie Mellon defensive lineman Mitchell Stokey. Case Western Reserve defensive lineman AJ Dudowski. W&J defensive lineman Dawson Dietz. W&J defensive lineman Avery Keith. Carnegie Mellon linebacker Robert Corey. Carnegie Mellon linebacker Thomas Corey. Grove City linebacker Ben Bladel. W&J linebacker Justin Johns. Carnegie Mellon defensive back Adrian Williams. Grove City defensive back Jason Mensch. Westminster defensive back Bryce Butler. And Westminster defensive back Kevin Wright. Now let's look at our first team special team selections. Carnegie Mellon kicker Justin Caputo. Grove City punter Dan Berube. And Westminster return specialist Bright Cannon. Next, let's take a look at our 2024 individual award winners. Newcomer of the Year, Westminster defensive back Lamont Austin. Defensive Player of the Year, W&J defensive lineman Dawson Dietz. Offensive Player of the Year, W&J quarterback Jake Pugh. And our Coach of the Year, Washington and Jefferson's Mike Sirianni. Now it's time to send the program over to the PAC Sports Network's Jack Ridenauer, who sat down with our Coach of the Year, Mike Sirianni of W&J. Jack?
Thanks, Jared. We're now joined by the PAC Coach of the Year from the Washington and Jefferson Presidents, Coach Mike Sirianni. Coach, first off, congrats on the award and another tremendous season for the Presidents. But sticking with the award, it's the 8th time that you've captured this award. What makes this award this season stand out from other years that you've been Coach of the Year?
I appreciate that. And honestly, I look at the award as a staff award. I mean, it belongs to our whole staff. What makes this different is this is a really a new staff. This is a new coordinator on defense. You know, Coach LeVar did a great job for us and got a head job at Hampton-Sydney. Coach Krebs last year was our coordinator, and he left the program, and we brought Sean Glossick back. So this is special because we got 2 new coordinators. Not only that, but Coach Cranston was promoted to full time. So really, all 3 of my full-time guys are new. Okay, 2 of my 3 of my interns are new. So this is a kind of a new staff that has worked really, really well together, and I'm really proud of the way that the job that they've done.
Well, it's incredible that you had all those new pieces come together, and it culminated in another very successful season, earning another PAC title. It's 27th for the program. And you all continue to be that standard of success, not only in the PAC, but also in the nation. How does it feel getting W&J to that national spotlight, especially since the last few years you guys have not been in the NCAA tournament, but now you quickly put yourself back into that conversation this year?
Yeah, I mean, that's a goal of ours. I mean, like we're proud of our success the last few years, and I've said this numerous times. You know, those bowl wins are special. Um, our guys 20 years from now, they'll be telling their family they run the Rose Bowl. They won't be telling them they won the Ace of Bushnell Bowl or the whatever the name was. But that being said, we'd rather be in the playoffs. But to me, bowl games are rewards for good seasons, which we're proud of, and we've had good seasons. But playoffs are opportunities. They're opportunities to put yourself on the national stage and compete for a national championship. And we haven't had that opportunity in a few years. So we're extremely happy to get that opportunity again. We'd rather have that opportunity than a bowl game. But we want to take advantage of it too. We want to get there and take advantage of this opportunity, and whether that's to try to win the whole thing or win as many games as we can. But we're definitely there to take advantage of the opportunity that we have.
Well, just to backtrack some throughout the regular season to kind of get everybody to speed as to how you got to this point, you suffered a heartbreaking loss to Carnegie Mellon, but then a few weeks later, you win a critical game against Grove City, a very good Wolverines team. Going into that game, what was the message to your team, knowing the importance of getting a big win and keeping yourselves in that title conversation?
Well, I mean, our message after, I mean, that loss to Carnegie Mellon was obviously devastating because we felt I mean, I give a lot of credit to Carnegie Mellon. They battled back and they're very well coached and they're a great football team, but we really felt we let one away. Blocked field goals, 2 blocked field goals really doomed us in. So it was hard. So we talked about what do we want to be remembered for? What moment do we, because right after that Carnegie Mellon game, it looked like we were going to be remembered for the moment of blowing that game. But let's decide what we want to be remembered for. And so, we were able to beat a great Westminster team. Didn't play terrific, okay, but we were able to make a drive, okay. And then, obviously, we had that big game with Grove City, who Andrew's done a great job. And, we talked about that. Is this the moment that we're going to be remembered for? Or is it going to be still the Carnegie Mellon game? So, and then we had to win one more case, another big game. But we wanted to talk about, hey, we want to be remembered for something good, not for something negative, which is where we were headed towards. So that, I think, and I give our seniors a lot of credit, okay, and our fifth-year seniors, which we had a lot of credit for regrouping the players and the younger guys and getting them headed in the right direction.
And you talk about the experience that you have, and one of them in one of the top players in the entire conference, in Jake Pugh, back-to-back Offensive Player of the Year. How much confidence does it give you knowing that you've got a player of his caliber out there running the offense for you?
Well, 100% confidence because he knows the offense as well as I do. I mean, I call the plays, but he probably could do it, and we wouldn't miss a beat. He probably could call his own plays. He always wants the ball in critical situations. He yells at me, "Don't take the ball out of my hands," and I'm like, "Yeah, he's right. Let's not take the ball out of his hands. Let him make the play." So yeah, and he's able to make a play through the course. He's able, if we call the perfect play and we're able to execute it, and everyone blocks right and everyone's open, or we hand the ball off, or we run an RPO, he's able to do that. But the play breaks down, and I don't call the perfect play, or someone makes a mistake, or someone just gets beat. He's able to still make that play work with his athletic ability, and that's something special that he's able to do that, but have the brains and the football sense to run our whole offense. So, I mean, you talk about quarterbacks fitting a system. I mean, our system is because of him. I mean, I don't know if we would run this system with any other quarterback. Okay, he makes this system go, and hopefully we can continue to play with him.
Well, you have great offense, and then obviously you have great defense as well with the Defensive Player of the Year and a multi-time All-American in Dawson Dietz. I mean, having somebody like that, what makes him such a threat defensively that other teams, it's hard for them to get around him?
Well, I mean, in terms of the Defensive Player of the Year, that was such a hard decision, I'm sure, for everyone who voted on that, because Ben Bladel could have won it. Both Corey brothers could have won it for Carnegie Mellon. I mean, that we have 3-4 really good national defensive players, and so that award could have definitely went to either the twins at Carnegie Mellon, could have went to the defensive lineman at Carnegie Mellon, could have went to Ben Bladel. Now, that being said, we felt that Dawson had a big impact on the conference this year, and he led the conference in tackles for losses and sacks at a not a defensive end position, at a defensive tackle position. So, and that's hard to do. So if you're going to single block him, he's going to beat you with sacks and tackles for loss. If you're going to double him and triple him, that's going to leave opportunities for other people, okay, to make plays. So no matter what you decide to do with him, we're going to benefit defensively. So he just had what a terrific career he's had. Very explosive. I can't say enough about the type of career that he's had for W&J.
Well, on top of Jake and Dawson, you guys were well represented all throughout the All PAC team, 7 members on the first team. So throughout the season, having that type of depth, what has that allowed for your team to do that maybe has given you a one up against other teams in really having the success you guys have had?
I mean, obviously you mentioned the first guys. I mean, we have Jonathan Peduzzi is a second team guy that was first team last year and probably had first team numbers, but there's so many good receivers in this league. And Jake McCosco had a little bit better numbers this year. So in terms of that position, yeah, you can't guard, you got to guard both of our guys. You can't just double one of them or cloud one of them. You have to guard both of our guys. And if you're going to try to take one away, we're going to throw the ball to the other person. So, and then, obviously you have someone like Avery Keith, who also makes first team all conference on the defensive line, who, again, that's what I was talking about. You're going to double. Okay. Dawson, it's going to create opportunities for Avery. If you're not, it's going to create opportunities for both of them. So he had a terrific season. Justin Johns, who just became our all-time leading tackler in the history of W&J, which that's saying something. I mean, this is a team that's been to the Rose Bowl in 1922. I know it was a long time ago. Okay, played in a couple national championship games. Okay, has been to the playoffs 27, 28 times, and now Justin Johns is the all-time leading tackler. That's a pretty impressive stat that I don't think gets talked about enough. Obviously, we had, our Zach Cernuto, who was first team all conference. He really makes our offense go with all of his blocking and catches out of the backfield, but out of that tight end position. So yeah, we have a lot of depth. We've had a lot of good players. Okay, I give credit to our coaches for recruiting them, and then, our Max Carter was our strength coach the last few years. He's not with us anymore, but obviously he did a great job developing him in the weight room. And it's good to have a lot of good players, because the more good players you have, the more chances you're going to have to win.
Without question, and you guys definitely had a lot of wins this season. I know you have a lot more winning to do ahead of you. And before we get you out of here, Coach, I know that you've got the big goal crossed off the list in terms of having a PAC title, but an even bigger goal is ahead of you with an NCAA tournament right around the corner. What has been the message to your team to kind of keep them focused and locked in with already so much accomplished, but still so much ahead of them?
Like I said earlier, bowl games are rewards, and we're proud of those. Okay, but playoffs are opportunities, and we have an opportunity to do something. And so does Grove City and Carnegie Mellon. And obviously, until we would play those, we wish them the best of luck. It's good for the conference. They're both coached by good men, and they have good young men on their team who we probably tried to recruit half those guys to, and they end up going there. So we wish them both the best of luck. But for us, like I said, this is an opportunity for us that we haven't had the chance to partake in the last few years. So we want to, and you want to take care of opportunities, because you don't know when you're going to get them again. If you would have told me in 2018 that we wouldn't be back to the playoffs in 24, I'd have told you were crazy. But that being said, our conference was really good. We weren't. So this is an opportunity. You don't know when you're going to get one again. So we need to take advantage of this opportunity.
Well, Coach, it's been fun to watch you guys succeed all season long, and we wish you nothing but the best moving forward into the NCAA tournament, and congratulations on another Coach of the Year award.
Thank you very much.
That's the PAC Coach of the Year for the Washington and Jefferson Presidents, Coach Mike Sirianni. Jared, back to you.
Thanks, Jack. Once again, a big congratulations to all of our all-conference participants. This is a well-deserved honor to end the 2024 fall sports season. Thank you for joining us on the PAC All-Conference Selection Show. I'm Jared Barton, and as we say goodbye, here's one final look at our all-conference selections. We'll catch you next time right here on the PAC Sports Network.